Okay, I have my project, I have my Resolene, I have some very fine tipped brushes, and I have a little bit of a paper towel. Open up the Resolene. I'm going to set it somewhere that doesn't interfere with the project. I'm going to start with the largest of my brushes. And I'm going to start painting on the Resolene. I'm going to try to avoid the horse's eye with each pass of the Resolene. I'm going to try to completely paint that area. Okay. And dip again. Blot off any excess. I've got my largest brush because I'm trying to do the largest area, but I don't want it to just completely bleed. And kind of see how it's soaking in. And now that I've painted off some of the Resolene, I'm willing to go into a smaller area. Okay. Okay, I got towards that hindquarter. It felt like my brush was getting drier, so it seemed like a safe opportunity to move it. And I see that there's a little Resolene on the metal of my brush. That's something to watch out for, that it doesn't drop off on an inopportune part of the project. Okay, this project feels fairly dry. I see that this arm is really soaking it up. Now, the obstacle. So, I'm going to see which brush I'm going to try for the obstacle. I'll repaint a front leg here. Okay, good. I can trust it. See if I can do the wider spots. See how it's getting milky? That's how you know you've got too much paint or too much Resolene on the brush. And you can also see that it's soaked in really quick. So now, instead of being light, it's dark. And I've got a dot on the end. So I'm going to let that dry and soak in for a moment and go to the next part of the obstacle, the next obstacle that's skinny, which is the bridge. And yes, this is leather work, so I am a-okay with spinning my project to make sure that I can reach and get the best angle. Okay. Alright, back to a bigger brush with a larger area. Ooh, that's got a lot of Resolene. And it really soaked in the middle of the rider's jacket. So these aren't just any riders and any horses. This is me with Totally from a photo at regionals in 2019, and this is Mom on Gift from the same show, regionals in 2019, and that happened to be her first regionals. And I'm so thrilled we were able to do that, so I am commemorating it here in leather. Ooh, that's a lot of Resolene. Try to spread it quickly because I don't want it to pool underneath that rain, because if anything I want a little more shadow under the rain. Not sure that we're going to get that though. Going around the nostril as best I can. Still trying to avoid putting any Resolene on the eyeball, since after all, we want the eye to be dark. Sort of just for the way things are soaking in, painting more Resolene on the top half there. Okay. So I still see I've got too much on that front leg. If I can pick some of that up. Whew. Boy, and it soaked in unevenly. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. So you hear the sizzle of the wok. And notice that my hands are over here on the leather. Okay, let's do a second pass on Katie. And I think I did just a little bit too much over there. I don't know if it's salvageable, but worth a shot, right? There we go, okay. Lot. So it's a sad day when your Resolene lands where you don't want it. So I love the shine that you're able to see now, especially over here in this portion of the project. You can really see how the part that has the Resolene is shinier. So I saw bubbles forming for a minute there, so I started brushing with a little more direction instead of just aimlessly. I was kind of rubbing instead of brushing the strokes. Okay, so these saddle pads are supposed to be white. And anywhere that's supposed to be lighter should have more Resolene. But in general, I like high contrast and I like a lot of Resolene on my tooling areas. Switching brushes, dip, blot, check. Okay. So I'm going to rotate my project a little and see if things reflect that I want to reflect. A little light, all right. So real briefly, I'm going to show you what too much Resolene would look like. I've got this little scrap here. I'll load up my brush. That would be too much Resolene. So where it looks milky. I'm going to try to just a little part of that. Being a liquid, it kind of flows wherever it wants to flow. So it's a lot harder to control when you've got too much Resolene on the brush. Here we go. That's getting easier to control. Now, see, I've made 2 different tones in that section. That will definitely show up later. If I have a large area to Resolene, an airbrush is fantastic because you can get a thin, even coating. Alright, so there's too much in the middle and just right. Okay, second round on the second horse. Okay. Make sure I can get the back of this a little better. Oopsie, got bubbles. Dip, wipe. So what happens next? You might be wondering at this point. Once there's enough Resolene on, then I'm going to let it dry. I have Googled and Googled and have not found clear instruction on how long is long enough. I've definitely seen plenty of people talk about what wasn't long enough. For example, they Resolened their project, waited a few minutes or an hour, and then antiqued their project and discovered, to their extreme dismay, that they did not wait long enough. So I like to wait at least overnight or a day if I can. Sometimes we've literally painted ourselves into a corner with the project and we have to Resolene and dry quickly. I think part of the issue on the internet is everybody's humidity and air conditions are different. Okay, almost done. I'm getting excited. I really am. Look at me. I'm excited. Now, time to slow down that excitement. Just have a super steady hand for the last part of this bridge. change angle. Okay. Oh, no drips, I saw. A little excess on the metal part of my brush, so I could wipe that off. Okay. See that? Back. All right. Et voila. I am so excited. I'm glad I'm not putting this off anymore. All right, guys, enjoy. Bye.